What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of the Art Meets Culture podcast. Wow. We are actually on episode 10, double digits, which is a phenomenal milestone for me. I came in the game, doing shows, and pushing every single year. Even when we got to like 21 shows, that was a phenomenal achievement for, me and the brand. Because we push hard and strong to make sure we execute everything. And now, now we are now focused on podcasting, and now we're just achieving double digits. So we are tremendously thankful. I am thankful. Everybody who's been a part of the process of Art Meets Culture. Well, from Art Meets Music to Art Meets Culture, I thank you to the highest degree. I'm just truly thankful for that. Amazing few months in terms of podcasting. Obviously we're still in the COVID-19 situation right now. I'm happy that I'm getting to document this on audio and just talking to people in these current times, these current situations. I'm nothing but grateful for everything and the support. I appreciate if you could share this episode or any past episodes as well. Give us a follow on Instagram. Let us know what you think of all the episodes. DM us. Have a conversation. I'll be direct to have conversations with you and to see what your thoughts are. Even if you like to come on the podcast, have a conversation, whether it be a conversation on the podcast or we can do something on the web, just depending on comfortability and where you're at. I'm happy to support anybody who's executing at such a high level. I'm definitely down. Just let me know. I'm here to support, here to add value. Anybody who's putting their money where their art is key. So I'm definitely down. But yeah, let's get into the next episode. I interviewed a young gentleman called Laurence White, emerging artist from Essex. He's self-taught. He has a great fascination with entrepreneurs and their spirits and what they bring into the business of life. Motivating people, adding value to people, and he paints these figures in such a phenomenal way. Do you know what I mean? And he carries that with himself, and carries that energy, that entrepreneurial spirit energy, which a lot of us artists do. Do you know what I mean? So every artist, that I speak to or been in passing to, they're all an entrepreneur in their own right. Do you know what I mean? So, he's highlighted, why he's used entrepreneurs as a driving force towards his work. So I think that's phenomenal. But you're going to hear his story. You're going to hear some phenomenal things, you know what I mean? And hopefully that encourages you guys more to go forth and pursue art consistently. Do you know what I mean? Everybody can make it in art. Just have to get our stories correct, our focus on what sort of pieces we're painting, what sort of stories do you want to tell, essentially what I'm trying to say. Because stories are very key to where everybody's next step is, because if you can't tell stories through your art about who you are and everything like that, you can get lost in this social media strategy that everybody else is doing, whether you're trying to capture every moment of the internet in art and everything like that. But in the end, if you want the legacy of true artists that we've seen in this world, like your Banksy's, there's a story there, your Basquiat story, Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, racking my brain of a number of artists. I'm even looking at my book collection as well. A few of the artists I go, George Condo, these artists always have like phenomenal stories, and I encourage all you artists here who's listening, start showcasing the stories within your work. Approach your work as if it's an album. So a lot, I've really noticed it. Listen back on my podcast. Approaching it as a single by single project, and then there's a whole body of work. I want to see your blueprints. I want to see your Illmatics. I want to see your boy in the corners. I want to see your star in the hoods. Like all this stuff, I want to see it. Not for my sake, but like for your sake as well. Do you know what I mean? Because when people buy into that, you'll go way far. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm having great conversations with artists, and I'm happy that I can, you know, add value and get their stories out there. But yeah, shout outs to every single artist, you know, that has, you know, been on Art Meets Music, who, you know, who's, you know, ever, you know, sold a piece through Art Meets Music, who's progressed from Art Meets Music, gone on to do phenomenal things with different brands, you know, but now it's Art Meets Culture. We're entering a new age, a new realm with everything. So yeah, Art Meets Culture is where it's at. Thank you so much for listening to the Art Meets Culture podcast. I was about to say Art Meets Music. I'm still getting used to it, but Art Meets Culture podcast. You know, without further ado, you know, I always say without further ado. I'm so used to say without further ado. Let's go. But you know, these you know, follow us on Instagram, Art Meets Culture, Twitter, YouTube, everything like that. But now, without further ado, I'm gonna make sure I get it right the next time, because I'm trying to be one take Jimmy here, just trying to do this in one take, as organic as possible, so you know the real, because we're all learning in here, and I'm learning tremendously through the podcasting thing before I become the expert at it. So everything takes its steps. But without further ado, we're going to be talking to Laurence White. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal artist. Let's get into it. You know, put your money where your art is. You know the vibe. Like, share, comment. Let's go. But thank you for coming down rather. Thank you for popping up into the podcast. Usually I would do like a sit down, but you know, I say, you know, let me start getting in contact with all the artists who I've connected with, whether it be from web interviews, and literally just like have a full blown chat in terms of what's going on now. So yeah, tell everybody, you know, about yourself and what you do.
So yeah, I'm an artist. I'm based in Essex, in England. And so my past is that I've come from TV. So I came out of university, studied business at uni, went on to not do business, anything to do with business, got into TV through a family friend. I've been doing that for about seven years now or something. And there's a lot of bits and pieces that I don't agree with in TV and stuff that just annoys you. And so I started doing art on the side, just like as a release, almost like something to focus my energies on. Like in TV, you work a lot of freelance jobs and whatnot, so there's a lot of downtime. That's why I picked up art, and then because of the contacts I've made through, like, I guess the celebrities and the talent that you work with, they've kind of seen my stuff on social media, and then through them I've done paintings for those guys, and it's kind of blown me up, I guess.
Amazing. You know? That's sick. Now, because seeing your work, you've you know, painted for a lot of reality stars, like the likes of, who's that lady? There's a lady with loads of tattoos all the way to the neck. Is it Gemma Lucy? Yeah. You've done some sick work for them. So like, when did you do art as a youngster, or this is something that you just picked up most recently?
No, I've done it up to college. So I was always like pretty good at it. Well, just judging by what I'd look around the class and whatnot and just see that, yeah, like, and you know, I got the grades to kind of support it and stuff, but did it up till kind of college, and then went on to get, like I said, a proper degree rather than going like carrying on with the art and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of been 10 years since I then started back up, and that was 2 years ago now, if that makes sense. So gave it up. 10 years later, I then started back up, and that now was 2 years ago from where I'm at now.
Yeah. No, that's big. That's big. I mean, like, seeing a lot of your work, you draw like loads of, you know, influential figures and stuff like that. Are those like your main subject pieces that you select to paint?
Yeah. So like, I'll kind of explain it like we done the article the other day.
Yeah.
As well. I like to paint successful people. It doesn't matter what industry they're in, whether it be musician, an athlete, all that kind of stuff. Just because when I'm painting something, I like to get into the mindset of like what they were doing and how they got there, and do a bit of research about the kind of subject and stuff. Because I'm just personally fascinated about the kind of what it takes to become successful, sort of thing. And then by association, like I said, I'm kind of I guess, becoming that myself. So like, an idol of mine growing up was Will.i.am. I'm now painting for Will.i.am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That Umar Kamani guy for Pretty Little Thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are big ones for me because they're my business idols, like, and you know, musical idols. You know, all those kinds of people, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. He's the owner of Pretty Little Things, correct?
Yeah, and then I think his dad. What I know, his dad owns Boohoo.
Okay, it's massive then. So you know what's going on in that family. So what is it about, like, you know, entrepreneurship that kind of, you know, inspires you to create? Because I look at, like, I'm watching motivational videos, you know, if it's not trying to grab a quote from, you know, sports athletes like your Floyd Mayweather's, your Kobe Bryant's, Conor McGregor's, like, what sort of energy do you receive from these people to kind of, you know, push forward into your art?
Fundamentally, I'm just trying to reach my potential. Like, I know that I can get way up here, kind of where I'm hoping to get. And I'm just trying to get there through learning the success principles along the way. And plus, I'm just generally, you know, I studied business through college, uni. Like, I am genuinely interested in business and stuff like that. And I've kind of tried to start little businesses and stuff over the years because I'm interested in it. But I wouldn't say I'm an artist, but I would say that I'm business first because, for example, I spend more time on my social media and promotion, interviews, podcasts than actually painting the pictures, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it in the community or whatever, but like,
you kind of soak up the energy first. It's pretty
much art's just the product I'm selling, if that makes sense, and just something that I'm good at, which I think is a kind of a little bit of a different approach to a lot of artists that, you know, want to create to create's sake and they love it, and in that respect, in like a creative, artistic way, if that makes sense.
And how, like, has social media played like a part in, you know, business wise, you know what I mean? Because you use business to lead what you're doing.
Oh, it's everything. I keep pushing TikTok at the moment as well. I would say that was a fundamental platform as well for the growth and stuff. But yeah, like, all of my stuff that I've sold has come through Instagram, just through like putting pictures up and stuff. Like, there is a section on my website where you can buy paintings, but there's never anything on it because I will just be taking. So I don't paint pictures just to paint in general. I take requests, if that makes sense. And so I've been lucky enough so far that all the paintings that I've done have kind of been requests, apart from one or two, which have kind of just been personal bits and pieces that I've wanted to do just to evolve as an artist and like practice a different style and that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Also, like, Essex, they're producing like mad talented artists, like from your Davos from Manchester. But the artists that I follow, I'm seeing a lot of them are being produced in Essex, which is weird. I don't know if that's like the new talent hub for artists. What's the like the creative space like in Essex? Because obviously I live in Shoreditch and I'm seeing that every single day. Do they have like creative areas in Essex? And, you know, are there anybody that, you know, that you seek or talk to in that community?
I wouldn't say necessarily, like, I'm in a creative, like, coming from a creative TV industry, like, people are based all over. I wouldn't say with the art and stuff, like, because Instagram is so key and social media, like, anyone I'm connecting with on a art level is just friends through, I guess, virtual friends. If you say virtual friends, they're obviously real people, but do you know what I mean? Like we're talking now. These are all people that I've met from online and through Instagram and stuff. So I'm kind of, when I'm not socializing with friends or with family or whatnot, I'm kind of just painting away, and so I ain't got time to be out meeting people and all that kind of stuff. If that makes sense. Like, I'm just focused on what I'm doing and where I'm trying to get to.
Okay, solid. And like, this is probably like the
By the way, out of interest, who are some of the artists you think are coming up in the scene? Because there are a lot of good people that I follow and stuff, and I think are decent.
Art wise, I mean, because I've been doing this for a while, like just seeing the beginning stages of a lot of artists, There's an artist called Kobe Martin, who I just recently spoke to on the podcast. He's
Yeah, I
someone
see.
who I met very early, and to see what he was doing digitally and what he's doing now, obviously he's using his life experiences to express his art. Another artist called Stazzy.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff.
Another one is who's incredible. Tom Fitch is another one. Who else? Funny Tummy is another artist as well. Like he's like, I'm about to have a conversation with him pretty soon.
Yeah, wicked.
I don't want to be bad and miss out so many names, but there's so many. There's I hate when my brain's just burnt out because I've had a but yeah, it's just literally these artists who I've worked with, and you've probably seen on the socials, that whether I'm reposting them on the Instagram or making them artists of the day. Yeah, these artists I'm kind of paying attention to, just seeing what their next stages are. Do you know what I mean? Even artists like yourself as well, just seeing, okay, cool, he's, you know, in that business aspect, how's he approaching art? So everybody literally has like different flavors in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot the last question I was going to ask you because you threw me on that one. But yeah, pretty much I was going to ask you like the COVID-19 experience. Obviously, you say, you know, you keep yourself to yourself and you focus on whatever you need to focus to. Essentially, you're probably in your element now more than ever. Do you know what I mean? That you're just giving supreme focus to it now. How's this experience, you know, I can't say pushed you because it's like you're already in that element, but has it, you know, given you added time towards what you want to do now?
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing but time to do what you want to do. I think it's a scary time for a lot of people and stuff, like including myself and that. But my thinking is that you're attacking this time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that, for me, I'm doubling down on trying to get as much painting done as possible. You know, work on my style a little bit, just so that I can completely distance myself from the rest, if you will. And so, yeah, just. I think instead of being on defense, this is happening, I'm kind of out there being like, okay, this has happened. Yeah, okay, cool. It's bad and stuff. Yeah. But this is a time where if I can build, like, for example, if my stuff doesn't sell, there's a couple of paintings that I'm doing at the minute and they're not for anyone in particular. But if they don't sell, I know that eventually they will. Yeah. And so I can just build up, like, I can get through this period and get about four or five paintings done. That's good. Like, because I know that I'll sell them, but then it gives me a catalogue of stuff to show people and galleries and kind of people that are interested in what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, in this time, everyone's going to take a financial hit, sort of thing. So it's not worrying too much about that. And like I said, well, what else are you going to be doing as a painter? Like it's perfect. As in, like you can't go out. So what else are you going to do?
Exactly. It's very interesting. Do you how can I put it? Do you feel as though the industry is like a little bit competitive in terms of like the art game right now? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously,
what do you mean by that?
In terms of like, you know, we soak up motivation. You know, everybody's looking to be the best in this art game, and you know there is that competitive edge to it. At the same time, producing the best work. You know, who's going to drop the best content, the best pieces? Do you feel as though there is a competitive space in this current art climate?
Love that question. Good question. So like growing up, I played sport at a fairly high level, sort of thing. And so I went to a sports football. And so I went to Loughborough, which, if anyone knows, it's a sports university, that kind of thing. So
we played in basketball years ago, and we lost.
Did you?
So you know what you're about.
No, so like the mentality's always been you're trying to be the best sort of thing. And so I think in, like, you know, growing up and stuff, without sounding big-headed, I've always been the best in my art classes, if that makes sense. Like, you know, at school and college and whatnot. Yeah. But where you've got Instagram, you're just seeing, you're comparing yourself to the world. Do you know what I mean? And so, 100%, I'm always looking out there for the big people. I think to see how close I can get and just basically get better. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that when I started, I was looking up to people who were just ahead of me, if that makes sense. Whatever. But now I'm looking up to people like Timmy Sneaks and Alec Monopoly, like people on that next level, because I feel like I've personally got to the level that a lot of those people that I first looked at were at, if that makes sense. And now it's taking things to that next level where I'm now looking up to, like, you know, the established people. That's why I was asking out of interest. Who you think people that are coming up? Because
I mean, Timmy Sneaks, amazing. Alec Monopoly, amazing.
There's this guy, I have to send you him as well. There's this guy called Anton Connolly he's based in America. He paints some
Russian as well.
I'm not sure what, like, I'm not sure.
Like high res colors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I interviewed him. It was my first interview for the thing, but I think he's gone AWOL at the moment. I don't know if he's going for anything at the moment, but he was one of the first ones I interviewed. Talking to him as a Russian immigrant coming to America and actually just killing it in his field because he's visually sick. I think you reposted him.
I love it.
He's definitely.
I don't understand. Like, that guy he doesn't have to follow. But I guess it's not all based on social media followers. But I'm like, his work is sick. It deserves more than what it's got at the moment, I personally think, or whatever. But
I mean, which artists are you looking at as well in terms of
So him.
Up? What artists are you looking at right now? That's in terms of leveling up and everything like that. Because you mentioned like Alec Monopoly, Timmy Sneaks. Who else are you still looking at now?
Yeah, so there's that. Anton Connolly. I think that's how you say his name anyway. Yeah. He's an American guy. There's Timmy Sneaks. There's Alec Monopoly. Who's the guy that paints in black and white?
Scott.
Scott's sick. Yeah, Scott's really.
I'm mentioning him as well.
I chat to him. I think he's amazing. He's really good. But I'm talking about people that so I guess I look at his stuff quite a bit. There's one more person that I was trying to think of. I can't remember who the name's gone from me anyway. But there's so they're the kind of the main people that I'm looking up to at the minute, and just it's interesting to see how they do things. I'll tell you, another girl is Sophie T. Sophie as in tea, the cup of tea. Not through, like, I like her style's cool and stuff. But it's more that she's built like a little team. So she's got a publicist, she's got a social media person. Do you know what I mean? And that's eventually what I'm looking to do is build a little team around me as well. I'm in the process of trying to bring someone on board at the minute. And to take, again, it's all that kind of things to take things to the next level. People are Holt the Gam, or however you say his name.
I haven't checked him out. I'll check him out. I'll just check out through yours.
Yeah, he's amazing. And Chris, this guy called Chris something. Anyway, I can always link them if you want. But there's some people that have just got really cool stuff that's vibrant. They're cool styles of painting, you know.
That's sick. That's very sick. So like you want to build a team, because a lot of the designers and a lot of artists now, they've literally built teams like Daniel Arsham, who I constantly keep mentioning every single podcast. These are the type of artists who will have a concept, but they'll have a team to build it around from social teams. So it's like, how efficient do you think you'll be once you have this team in place?
Oh, you don't even understand. You don't even understand. Because at the minute I feel like, I've done all this having a job. Do you know what I mean? Like to the point that I've got to. So, you can go full time and build that little team around you as well. Then I'm excited to see where it can go. Do you know what I mean? And I think that just comes down to, I guess, wanting to be the best and do it the biggest. Do you know what I mean? But I guess I'm changing the angle a little bit, just in terms of the people I've been painting for have been like reality stars and people like that, and more recently a few more different types of celebrities as well, like I said, like musicians and people like that. And I'd like to do a bit more of that, and like kind of high net worth people and that kind of stuff, just to I guess becomes a bit more, in my eyes, a bit more credible. and it's just a different audience and stuff. So I guess that's the kind of way I'm going to be pushing from this point onwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, are you looking to get like your work in any galleries in the future, or is this straight you to client, try and cut out the middleman or cut out galleries?
I'm not in the business of trying to cut them out as such. If like it would take time for me to go around and start finding galleries to put my stuff in. But fortunately, I've been lucky enough that my work sold through what I'm doing. I think that in the beginning, a lot of people try and seek out a gallery so that they can try and sell their work to find people for it. But if you've got if you, do you know what I mean? If you've got a base where people are buying your stuff anyway, then why let them take 20% or whatever they're taking? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do understand that when you're in a gallery, it gives you a certain level of credibility. And so if it was one of the big galleries, or just somewhere I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah. Or just somewhere that I thought was cool, and a piece hadn't sold, then I would, you know what I mean? Like, it's better sat in a gallery than it is my house, for example. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who would you like your ideal collaboration be in terms of collaborating like on that high end level?
What are you talking about, gallery?
No, in terms of like brand, more or less. Because like when I see your stuff, it's like you look like a person who will do something dope with a Porsche or a Louis Vuitton or something like that. You know, do something epic like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, either of those. Have you seen a magazine called High Society?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that type of vibe, Business Insider, that kind of thing. And then you're getting into your luxury brands like Mercedes and that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think we could create some cool pieces. I love that as a question, just because I haven't really thought in like a specific brand that I'd want to be working with, but like to just be painting for, I don't know, Hilton hotels or something, like, do you know what I mean? Like something really cool, high end, that kind of thing is more my thing. And I think I'm kind of going that way. Even just with my prints and stuff, I'm going to be putting my prints up in terms of the price of them, just because, not because I want to price people out as such, but it's now shifting what I'm doing into a different echelon of people. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean. So like, what have been like the challenges for you as an artist? You know what I mean? Because a lot of creatives, whether it be financial, time, or anything like that, what have been your challenges that you face, coming up as an artist?
Yeah, sure. I mean, financially, it hasn't been too bad, just because, like I said, I've had a job for a lot of it on the side anyway. And so I've been doing the art on the side, sort of thing. So that hasn't necessarily been a problem, but at the same time, that is a problem, in that my biggest problem has been that I haven't had time to be able to fully put in. That's why this lockdown is almost amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I literally, the amount I can just get done and do in that time. So that's been the hardest thing. And I think where I've worked in TV and you're doing a lot of travel, like it's a tiring job. So to then come back after a long day, you sometimes you're getting at 9, 10 or whatever, and then to come back and put just even a couple of hours into a painting, that's harder than that sounds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially when you're keeping up with life admin and all that kind of other stuff as well, like, and then try and go gym as well and all that kind of stuff, So it's kind of, it's difficult at times. Do you know what I mean? But you kind of got to do what it takes.
Yeah. So there's like the, balancing it out and almost making this time like your lifestyle sort of thing, because right now a lot of artists are doing a lot of the big artists that we look at now, guys that you've mentioned like Timmy Sneaks, Alec Monopoly, they've made it into a lifestyle in terms of as how they're being an artist, whereas before it's like paint, seclude myself, be a bit quiet. Now it's just like boom, stars, they're with the stars and around the stars, they're doing cool shit. Is that your approach, or what your future approach in terms of what you want to do, bring that lifestyle element to your art?
What do you mean? Sorry, as in like what they're? Oh yes, sorry, yeah, I guess, and that's what
in terms of how they present it and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly, and that's what I mean in terms of like slowly, as I keep painting for these types of people, eventually becoming, on red carpets. Do you know what I mean? You become the celebrity artist in yourself, if that makes sense. That's just a personal goal of mine to kind of, I don't know, it's just a thing of like, yeah, I made it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess just that's just a personal thing. But I think as well, like, especially once it's all done, I'm going to start reaching out to a few brands. And if there are any brands listening, it'd be amazing to collab with. But in terms of like, because I'm at home when I'm doing my art stuff, like, I ain't really bothered about what I'm wearing and stuff like that. But I'm becoming aware that, like, as you get more of a following and stuff, like, your image is all part of it as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, do you know the brand Preview?
Preview. Do they do like lifestyle videos and stuff like that?
No, they're a clothing brand, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, it's their type of clothing, and Arnclo and people like that
Yeah.
are brands that, like, kind of represent, you know, the higher end of things, and also, like, you know, would give that image. And so that's the kind of stuff that I'll next be investing a bit of time in to kind of get that up and running, and, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get that going in that way.
Yeah. Who's the biggest client you've done art for?
I think my favourite was Umar Kamani, just because it ended up in Dubai, and that's just not something that I've experienced before. Do you know what I mean?
Did you manage to go to Dubai to give it to him?
Sorry?
Go to Dubai to give that to him?
No, so this was literally like days, if not, it was like 2 days before the whole lockdown stuff. Like, the painting, it was his 30 something birthday. Don't know exactly which one, but it was bought through his wife. Amazing. And like, everything was locking down. He flew out of the country, and so there's a girl called Emma who managed to make the whole deal happen and get it shipped over in time. There was a lot of problems at the airport getting it over and all that kind of stuff with the whole thing going on, but he managed to get there. And to see it, framed up and over there was kind of amazing. So yeah, I'd say that was one of my favourite pieces that that's come of it. I did a piece for one of the girls out of the Pussycat Dolls, which was pretty cool. So there's a couple.
You mentioned will.i.am. Was that something you did a piece for him, or was that just a gifted piece?
Yeah, so I did a piece for him. That was for his birthday. What was it? Again, just before the lockdown and stuff. So that was amazing to get that to him. He was filming The Voice and stuff. So went up to the studio there. One of my contacts through TV put me in touch and kind of made that happen from there. And what was the other one as well? Something that I didn't actually sell to someone was I did a painting in my local barbershop. And then I just tweeted it out, put it on my Instagram, and Ice Cube actually saw the painting that I did of him and retweeted it and posted it up and stuff. That was actually probably the biggest moment that I've had, just because it was like, oh my God, like to get it to someone like that. Not to get it to someone because, you know, he didn't actually, it wasn't a painting for him.
You know what I mean? He's got his awareness on it because he's like hip hop royalty, you know what I mean?
Oh, the guy's a legend. And like, just to be, just for him to see it was like that was a moment. Do you know what I mean?
So, I mean, I kind of was stopping myself from asking this question of saying, where do you see yourself in like 10 years time? But it's like, if we asked, where do you see yourself in 2020? We didn't see this whole shit coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, God forbid another pandemic or whatever, like where do you see yourself, you know, in the next 5 years as an artist? Or what sort of levels do you think you'll be leveling up in?
All that, I think if I can carry the trajectory that I'm on at the minute, it will be build a small little team, a nice little dynamic team of one of my really good friends who I want to take on is a guy called Tom Avery, and he's a videographer, does all that pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I'd take him on. Then someone from like a press type person, which is kind of what I'm looking for at the minute, really. Promo, dealing with galleries, all that kind of jazz. And then to just carry on painting for kind of like the kind of people that I'm reaching, but just on a more regular basis, and at a point where I guess you're then on some serious money for the paintings that you're doing and that kind of stuff, you know.
No, that's wicked. And bro, you're doing like a phenomenal job, you know what I mean? I definitely admire what you're doing, you know what I mean, the type of clientele you're getting. and just how you want to push art, and you do it like very confidently. So, you know, that's something that, you know, that we can all appreciate, and, you know, a lot of artists will be inspired by that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of people that I study that do this, sorry not that do this, but like the people that have made it, it's a case of, yeah, you got to be talented as well, but to just do it and do it and do it, and it's the patience, it's the persistence, that's the thing. And so it's difficult because I'm best part of 2 years in now, and it's kind of, you want more stuff to be happening, more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, but that's exactly what they're saying, and it's just taking a step back, especially when you're eager.
Yeah,
it's even just taking that advice myself to just know that it's coming,
yeah,
and just to be patient with the process, because that is all part of it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that would you pretty much answered the next question, which is advice and special words for any artists out there. But obviously, believing in the process is definitely key, because a lot of artists are impatient. You know what I mean? They want that viral piece, or they want someone to just pay that 6-figure or something in there, but it literally takes time.
That's the thing. And I've come across a girl literally earlier today called CJ Denny or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
This Australian artist, and she was like, it just takes one. It just takes one. Doesn't you know? You could get a follow from someone's brothers, aunts, uncles, and it eventually finds their way to whoever it's meant to be. And do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And so you're literally at that one moment. That's what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about a lot. It's that you're that one piece of content. You're that one thing away, but you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So in the meantime, I think for me, I'm just trying to niche and hone a style, so that when you look at the painting, you'll be like, yeah, that's Laurence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm doing at the minute. And then beyond that, it's going to see me carry on getting to the kind of people that I want to be associated with and kind of get to, you know?
Yeah, no, that's big. I appreciate this conversation, man. This was definitely, you know, dope to have another artist, you know, speaking to today. I've got a few more as well, but, you know, I'm just trying to rack these up and just making sure that
how many are you getting through? You must be getting through a load, you know?
It's literally either every 2 hours, so I got to find time to podcast, go for essential shopping, but wait in those lines, which is another thing. So there could be like 10-minute lines. But today was a bit manic because one, I had to get stuff for the missus, then I had to get stuff for the mum. And it's just like, and my mum lives 20 minutes away, then I got to come back. That's what I was missing. I might be 15 minutes late, bro. But you know, it's good. And luckily, you know, I've done, like, you're the third one I've done today. And it's literally just having conversations with artists, and I'm just like, yo, let me see how much I can add value to all these artists, you know, allowing them to speak, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's almost like you guys do art, but no one kind of wants to check in and figure out, okay, what's your story? Do you know what I mean? It's always like, like, buy. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the thing about social media. You know, you're saying about advice and stuff, and I'm caught up in that in a minute. It's like, you look around at all the different artists and stuff, and you're like, I would say I am an Instagram artist, and that, like, I'll ask people on my channel, on my social media, like, what do they want to see next? And I'll listen to that and I'll actually go out and do it. But at the same time, because posts are so throwaway and stuff, I think I feel a lot of pressure to be producing like something new like every week. Do you know what I mean? Like this paint I'm working on at the moment, it's taking 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh my God, like, people are going to get bored of it. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's a bad spot to be in. Do you know what I mean? Where you're just trying to push content out, just to push artwork out, to just get content out. And so just taking a slower approach to it. It's that patience thing, you know?
Exactly.
And so that kind of feeds into that element of things as well, you know?
Yeah. And I think, that's the patient side is definitely there, because like I said before, just, you know, adding value and just bringing artists who are in that patient game right now. But, you know, we use this podcast as a check-in, say, yo, what's going on now? Like, what are you working on? Let us know.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. I love to hear the story of people, of how they get into there, and do you know what I mean? And I think that with myself, like, I think there's a really good quote that I love, and it's kind of like, everything that you've done is preparing you for what's coming. And so you know, I've had to have gone into TV and done that whole route and, you know, met them kind of people to get to eventually where it was intended to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love hearing other people's stories, just if there's a little snippet you can take from someone, or, do you know what I mean? To be like, oh, okay, cool. That, like, you know, the different nuances on how to get there and make it as such, you know?
No, that's big. That's big.
Speaking of which, how was it? Was Timmy Sneaks? Just, he's like literally one of my favorite artists. Like,
it was one of those, let me shoot my shot and let him see what he says. So I literally just sent him an email and just said, you know, does he want to do a web interview? And he was just like, I think I was talking to his management. They were like, yep, he's down. He definitely wants to come to London as well to do something. So, you know, I'm having conversations with him to see what he wants to do. And what, you know, we could do in terms of collaborations, and hopefully I'm going to get him on the podcast pretty soon. Just got to work out time difference and everything like that. But luckily there is no busy for this period or busy for that period. It's literally, I'm at home, let's have a conversation, let's get pushing outside. So the Timmy Sneaks thing was a dope thing, pretty much what kicked off this whole interview series, you know, pushing more on the podcast and literally just checking in with artists and seeing what they're about, you know.
Yeah, I think like kind of what he's set up, like I kind of like I've done my research on him and stuff. I guess that's essentially that, you know what I mean? That's the kind of setup you're looking like. I mean, you kind of said it to me. It's almost like, and yeah, like it's good that you're kind of seeing that from your side of things. In that, that's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah. And you can see the workings and the beginnings of that. Do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, no, it's so solid, man. But yeah, again, you know, thank you, you know, for having this conversation. Could you let everybody know your socials and where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. So it's Laurence _M _White, and that's Laurence with a U. And that is me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
How is TikTok for you? Because I'm trying to check into it more.
You're not on it?
I'm on it, but as a spectator for now. But I'm checking. I'm just seeing like different artists, you know, do some unique things on there. So I'm checking if how effective it is.
Yeah, there's some cool people doing cool artists, and there's some cool people doing a lot of things on there. I think if they can just add pictures, then I think Instagram with the organic reach, and I mean the reach is just so dead these days on Instagram that I think if they can get it right on TikTok with pictures and just incorporate that, I think it's game over. And I'm at like what 120,000 TikTok followers now. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big platform for me. Just I know it's younger, but it's, as we've seen since the lockdown, the numbers even on TikTok are starting to go down a touch because there's so many people now getting onto it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great platform to kind of, it takes a bit more work because it's more videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that could be the one to rival.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm definitely going to check it out because I've got some sick content ideas. You know, so
what kind of things are you thinking?
Just again, the stuff that enhances, you know, the stories of artists, which is definitely my focus.
But if you even like just as like, you know, to cut up like little snippets of, say, we've done this as a visual and audio, but you cut up snippets of this, just talking to people in the art get like art's massive on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just put out a little snippet of that. Yeah. But like bang, you're getting hits as well. Like
exactly. Trust me, I've got a book full of what we're gonna do.
I'm sure you are.
You know, speaking to yourself and others, I'm gonna definitely get you guys involved in what we're gonna do next, 100%.
Yeah, amazing. That sounds great.
All right, bro. Cool. Appreciate this conversation, man.
No worries, man. And cool. I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, cool. All right, take care, bro. Have a good one, man.
Easy. Cheers. Bye-bye.